So semen retention will make you the man you're supposed to be. What does that mean? How can you ever even think you're the man you're supposed to be if we're doing PMO? I always knew that. I knew when I was doing it. I was like, damn, I'm really compromising myself right now. But yet I can, okay, I'm going to stop tomorrow. I can't stop right now. I'm going to stop tomorrow. Next thing you know, years go by. And for some, decades. And for some, they're 70 or 80 and they're still doing it. I was in Thailand and the guy, he had to be 80. He couldn't even walk anymore. Probably he just lost all his ojas. His old body's breaking down. He had 2 young Thai girls helping him walk, taking him back to the hotel. I'm sure he has a box of Viagra, which he'll then get a heart attack probably soon because you're just too old to be forcing blood from your heart to your penis and that whole game, you know. Point is, he seems like he spent his whole life and never got to taste what it felt like to be a man. And he probably said all the same things when he was a teenager. Yeah, I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna work on this tomorrow for sure. I'm just enjoying this right now. I just want to keep doing it. Next thing you know, he's 70 or 80 and he dies. Then what? Then you got to come back and do it again. Okay, I'm not going to get too much into that. It's like it steals all your testosterone, for one thing. It destroys your confidence. How can I look a girl in her eye? And if you got kids, that's even worse. Not a moral thing. It's just, I understand that. I can imagine that feeling. If you have children and you're doing PMO, or if you have a wife or girlfriend or anything, the point is, how can you be doing that? And this isn't about guilt or shame. Nothing. I'm not at all doing that. I'm not trying to do that. That's not my motive. I'm just pointing things out that you already know, and we're talking about it because I feel there's some transcendent power when we do that. That's why I'm doing it. That's why I'm talking about it. How can we look in the eyes of people we love when we're in that dark vibrational state that you cannot not be in if we're doing it? I remember I used to do it, and then a friend would call, or even worse, a girlfriend would call. The phone would be ringing, and I'm like, damn, I don't want to answer this because she's going to know. She's going to feel me energetically and know I'm doing something I shouldn't do. I used to have that thought. They didn't consciously, son. They didn't consciously know when they called me that I was doing something maybe that was low level. But somehow they knew. I could tell by the vibration of their voice when they would talk to me. It's like they matched my vibration without knowing it. They didn't go down to my vibration, but they were talking to me. Their words and energy was like they weren't giving me the love that I wanted because I didn't deserve the love. I wasn't attracting the love. Because my vibration was low, I was doing this debaucherous stuff, so therefore I couldn't attract a higher frequency vibrational expression because I wasn't, how can I attract it when I'm doing low level stuff? So that's why I didn't want to answer the phone. I'm like, damn, why do I keep doing this? And you just feel weak. I used to feel super weak, like, I was boxing a little at the time, but I was still doing some of this low-level stuff. And there was a time, his name's Danny Santiago. He fought professionally. Later, at that time he was training, and I smarted off to him or something. The sun's like there. I smarted off to him. I had some attitude, I thought I was badass and all that. But I didn't have any ojas. See, I couldn't back it up. And he was preserving his semen. And he said, "What'd you say?" Just that energy he gave me. I was like, "Oh, I'm in trouble now." But I don't want to back down. I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. And he pushed me, man, so hard, you know. I didn't have it in me to throw down with him. He had to tore me up. So that would happen a lot, though. Even in certain arguments, or I couldn't stand up for myself. I could, but I didn't have the energy behind it. Like I wasn't speaking with power. It's like they didn't believe me, you know. Somebody's coming. Another girl. There's all these girls that walk by here. So I'm gonna let her pass. What's happening? No. Good. So I was saying, like, I didn't have the backbone to back up with what I was saying. So it's like, because let me tell you, when you're one with your energy, you really maybe don't even have to fight. Just your words alone is sufficient. Because it's all about energy. Anyone that's been to jail or prison knows, like, it's energy. Like they smell it. Like, can you be taken advantage of? Are you somebody that they can punk? You can just smell it energetically, you know. In the wild, like me, I'm deep in the jungle. Animals, that's all they go by. It's just they size you up. They size, well, yeah, you also. They size humans up, but other animals energetically. I have a cat that keeps coming around my place, and it knows when a dog comes around. It knows. It looks at him, and it sizes it up. He's like, "No, this dog ain't about nothing. I can take this dog out." But if it's one of these wild dogs, the cat like leaves. It knows energetically. So when we're losing our ojas, the subtle essence of our semen, by doing PMO or by edging, when we lose that, we like lose our energetic backbone. And we just don't have any power. We can learn all the lines, read the script on how to sound like a badass, but we just like, oh man, shut up, you know. Where, like, look at Gandhi. What, he's 110 pounds? But yet, who's going to mess with him? He's super strong, solid in his being. He was brahmachari. He preserved his semen. So, those who these words land for you, that means that that's your own higher self wanting you to do this. See, we're caught in this game of life. We got the lower self and the higher self. And for a while, the lower self wins and tries to keep the consciousness down. But then the higher self is like, no, man, like, enough of that. Let's come up. And the whole, you can say, point or goal in life is to merge the lower self and the higher self. There's unity. And then there's balance. And then your expression will be attractive, you know. If people are attracted to that, it's good. And then you'll automatically feel to help others who are open, they got to be open, to guide them into this inner harmony. Because you know that this is where it's at. There's nothing else. There's nothing else that's going to give the satisfaction that we feel when there's this inner equilibrium, when we're conscious of it. I mean, the cars are cool, and the motorcycles, and the girlfriends, and the attraction, and the popularity, it's cool, and we got to taste that. We got to taste it to see that it doesn't really give us permanent satisfaction. That's the thing. There were times when I was acting in Hollywood, I'd put on a really good performance, and I would get the recognition would just be like really good. I'd be like, damn, I'm good. But then that wears off. It always wears off. Get the girl that you never thought you could get, and she actually smiles at you. That's really intoxicating. Wears off. This inner harmony doesn't wear off. But one has to come to that realization in their own self. I'm just trying to help accelerate things. I can't control who's burning with the passion to realize this stuff. That's out of my hands. You get it when you get it. I had to be done when I was done. That's why I say, if you're not done, but you want to be done, but you're still not done, it's okay. Give yourself a break. Allow yourself to not be done while still trying to be done. That's a paradox. Not many people can do that, but that will help accelerate things. So do that. Forget the guilt and shame. That's the mind and the ego. Of course, you're going to feel some guilt and shame when you do things you shouldn't do, but you don't need to identify with that so much and go into some major depression about it or kill yourself. Use the guilt and shame to just motivate you to stop doing the thing. It's just an indicator that you're doing something you probably shouldn't do. That's all. And if you're not feeling any guilt and shame, well, you're probably not watching this video then, because why would you? Unless you want to make fun of me or something. That's cool too. All right, see you.